maintain sight on that group until we can get some people back over here.
CERT 2.
Get that turn.
Check them for vitals. Stay on the wall. You keep it a little bit in the middle over here. CERT 2 to CERT 2A, respond. Okay, we're going to have to call this one in.
Well, every one of these stations, every one of these drills they're encountering are real life situations. That's what it's based on. So now we get an opportunity not only to sharpen our skills, but to test our knowledge on these situations. So it strengthens the community as a whole, and by them doing this, it shows the resilience and safety that our CERT teams bring to the community.
So CERT is the Community Emergency Response Team, which is a group of volunteers that come together and they help us out during disaster scenarios. So these games, they actually haven't taken place since 2011. And since CERT is all around the state of Michigan and all around the country, they're trained through FEMA. So we have these games, which are actually, they're not quite games, but they are in the sense of they're going to be competing with each other in different disaster scenarios. So there could be like a down wire, there could be a building that collapsed, and they're going to help first responders get victims to safety. So there's quite a few different games they'll be going through, but it's a competition to see who can help out law enforcement and fire department the most.
Well, they've stepped in hugely, right? And they don't do this because they're paid. When these extreme events occur, they come in on their own, possibly leaving their family suffering from the same conditions that the rest of the community is suffering from, whether it be a power outage or a shortage of something, and they leave their families to come help others. And that shows great resilience and commitment to the community that they live in. So that makes me very proud that we have citizens that are willing to step up in that manner and come together as a community as a whole.
This is really cool. We don't get the opportunity to use facilities like this very often. Facilities that have been vacated, but they're still in really good shape. They're still operational. We can still use them set up in different areas. So it's really a great thing that we were able to work with all the partners involved in this to get the use of Lakeside to do this training, because it makes it a little more realistic for those that are participating.
A group of activities that are generally under the same under three different headings. One is search and rescue, and we have that split up into three sub-activities. One is building size up, one is the actual search and rescue exercise, and one is something called cribbing, which is a process of victim extraction from underneath a heavy weight. Then we have the fire extinguishment section, and that is broken up into two different things. One is the size up activity, where you take a look at the type of fire that you have to fight and the type of extinguisher that you have to do it with, and whether that fire is too big or not, and whether you have the right extinguisher or not. And then we have an actual fire extinguishment activity using an electronic simulation of a fire that they use to simulate putting a fire out and demonstrating that they have the proper skills to pull, aim, squeeze, and sweep, and approach the fire properly using the buddy system. And then finally we have treatment and triage, which is an environment where we have victims that have just been hit by something like a tornado, and there's been some pretty serious injuries. We have a victim that's in cardiac arrest, we have a victim that has an arterial bleed in the leg, and we have another victim that has suffered a compound fracture. And the CERT team that goes into that activity has to assess what they have, determine who is first in line for medevac travel to the hospital, and then they treat those injuries with CPR, or in the case of the arterial bleed, we'll apply our stop the bleed training, and in the case of the compound fracture, we'll treat for shock and also immobilize the injury.
I want to have CERT 5, hang out. Okay, you're good. Keep going, you're good. Okay, let's get the rest of the group formed back up.